Hi folks, welcome back. This is Arlene once again. If you noticed, I did a little bit of work on our little duck here, and what I did was I started his feet. I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, and I decided to fuss with it a little bit, which I did, and I think I came up with a nice little system to make a little Webby foot like you see there, and I'm going to share with you how to do that. On this other side, I already drew the pattern in, and what I use is this 50% alcohol and water, and I just spray it a couple of times. I don't go crazy with it because we don't want anything checking or cracking when it dries. And what you want to take is a real sharp knife, and what you want to do is you just want to scoop this out close to that line on both sides. See how nice you can cut with that? It really is an amazing way of using that water. When you get into areas that you really have to be careful, it comes in so handy. You don't want to put it in a bag or soak it. Just when you're about to start doing something this small, just wet it a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of those little lines, just like so. That was just a guideline, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm from the front, from the front and from the back, I'm going to just scoop that out. See if I can keep that in line there. Just from that one tip to the other, just scoop it out. Okay? And the same thing with this one over here. We're just going to scoop it out. Just like round it up to that. And we're going to do the same to the bottom. We're going to just scoop it to the center, just like so. I'm going to just spray that again a little bit so it's a little wet, so it's a little easier, so I don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. And when you, sorry, let me do this for a second here. Wipe my hands off from that strop. It was a little dirty. So kind of that's all you need to do with the feet. You can, I have a little bit of a concave, see it goes in a bit down here, and I have a little bit of the feet showing, so that's pretty well I'm going to do with the feet. Actually, the bottom of the feet is pretty well flat anyway. Most of this curvature is on the top of the foot. So if you want to, you can go down a little ways on the side here and make it look more like a web foot from the side, which I will do, which I'm doing now. Okay, see how that looks? Right like that? Perfect. And I'll do the same thing over here. I'll just kind of scoop that out a little bit and have that look like it's a little bit of a web foot there. Alright, so that's pretty well for the feet. I'm not going to do too much more with it. I did clean up in the center there a little bit. As you see, I still have my center line there. Alright, so we're just going to round this up a little bit on either side. This looks a little full here, so we're going to chop a little bit of this off. Now, here comes the interesting part, the eyes. As you see, I have the eyes already kind of drawn on there. What I do is I start with a circle, and they will probably look different than what they do. They look kind of scary to me right now, but I think they'll be fine. I'd rather go a little bit too big than too small for this, because they're a little baby, I want, a little duckling, I want the eyes to be a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do is we're going to take I'm going to do one eye online, and the other eye we're going to do offline, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Because this is the kind of hesitate to do it, because if you do it wrong, it's hard to correct it sometimes. But what we want to do is we just want to take our knife and we're just going to follow this, okay? Just like so, okay? And we're going to follow it from there. I'm going to go down and around. Now folks, you need a very sharp knife. Do not hesitate to make sure your knife is super sharp. And when I say super sharp, you want to make sure that it's giving you a very, very clean cut. And something very tiny like I have here. Just make sure it's sharp. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to take the first layer out. Okay, just like so. And we're going to take the second layer from the bottom out. I actually draw the eye in completely dark so I know how to measure it from side to side. The hard part is making it match. That's the tough part with this whole thing. You know, it's not so much doing the eye as it is making those eyes match. Now you see, I don't have the eyelid. That's going to be coming next. So what we want to do is we just want to, I'm going to take that little, but that will throw me off seeing that black stuff. It irritates me, so I just remove most of that. Alright. I'm doing this from a distance, so hopefully it's it's looking okay. Alright. Okay, just like so. Now we can fuss with that a little bit later, and so I'm going to get rid of that a little bit there too, because we're gonna do something a little different here. Okay. Clean it up. Alright. Now the next thing we're going to do, and this is kind of the important part. Alright. You're going to hold your knife at an angle. See how I have this at an angle? You're going to go at an angle and follow that again at the top. This will give you the eyelid. Alright. So what we want to do is we want to extend it down past the eye a little bit. I'm going to make sure I can get this focused here so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and I'm going to just slowly follow this all the way up and around, and I'm going to go back in there and bring this right down to there. Okay? That's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly slice something out there. See how I got the eyelid there? Just so ever so slightly. Now folks, if you're not sure how to do this, do what I did. All you need to do is go to a block of wood, draw a circle, cut out the circle first, then go back and follow that circle at an angle like I just did. Alright? And then cut it from this direction. Practice, practice, practice. It takes a while to learn how to do this, so it's not overnight. So if you don't get it the first time, you know, don't be too upset with it. But what we want to do is just take it easy. And the thing you want to be careful of when you do this eyelid, we're going to do the bottom one in a second. I'll probably do that in the next one. You don't want to stick it too far this way that you cut right into the eyelid, because if you do, you're going to take that eyelid right off. So you want to take it in very, very small steps. Okay? Just take your time with it. See, you know, we got the eyelid on there already. And now I'm going to extend this down a little further on my next segment, which I'll get in a second here. And then we'll do the bottom one, and then I'll do this one offline. The hard part is matching them up, and I can still see that that one is a little bit higher than it should be. So I'm going to be fussing with that for a little bit. But that's what he'll look like. Alright? So we'll be back to do that bottom eyelid in just a few moments. Bye-bye.